All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to check out its local search and its city search, see if they got BSS for any of them or both of them. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. And more on this, pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph in white here. Highest intent people on the left. These are the peeps searching literally today for boudoir photo shoot in their city. We focus on those peeps here with our BSS videos about BSS because these are highest intent, easiest to convert, closest to the money people. Over on the right, our lowest intent people. We talk about those with our sister brand Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And currently over there, we own what Boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in Boudoir Facebook ads. Now, BSS means Boudoir search sameness. That means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1 on Google means obviously, they're on page 2 or deeper, somewhere deeper. And we care about this because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page 2. They're page 1 and done searches, that's it. Which means if we're on page 2, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market. And 1 slot on page 1 on Google, that ain't good either because, there's 10 organic slots on page 1 on Google. If 9 other boudoir photographers each have 1 slot, everyone's looking the same, everyone's got 1 slot. We're not saying that, we're basically invisible, and guess what? A boudoir photographer is, or a boudoir buyer, their behavior is going to be just clicking through everyone on page 1. Well, approximately 80% of the boudoir buyers, they're only going to be clicking through everyone on page 1. They'll never go to page 2. And they'll be comparing everyone on page 1, and as a result, they will, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, negotiating, pulling down the price, asking for more. It's kind of annoying to deal with to run a business that way, and most of them won't even go with us. So it's like, man, what's even the point? Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It is the symptom of 2 deeper root causes, and those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, the number one thing there is, well, basically everyone knows this. This is more boudoir photographers entering the market over time. Just simply as people upgrade their gear, kind of like get a new iPhone, get a new camera. This just naturally happens. Then eventually they throw up their Google My Business profile saying they're a boudoir photographer. They've got their website ranking on page 1 on Google are competing to, saying they shoot boudoir photography. They are also increasingly posting in the mom groups on Facebook that that they now offer boudoir photo shoots. And a big market saturation time with COVID, tons of people lost their jobs, so they earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with awesome camera. Tons of people became boudoir photographers in that time. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is the new one that very few people know about. So what this is actually a lot of boudoir photographers have kind of assumed or accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And it's kind of like, yeah, whether Google wants to give you that slot, yes or no. And maybe you're on, who knows, slot 7, page 1, slot 7. Then some market saturation happened. Now you're on page 2, slot 2. And a lot of boudoir photographers are like, oh, well, I hope those new peeps, delete their website and Google de-indexes them. So maybe Google will bring me back up onto page 1. But no, this is 100% incorrect. This is the wrong way to think about it, because what we have learned and we have the data to show is Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, and we actually do put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with this new methodology we discovered. So that's how we know the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. Again, if we got 0 slots page 1 Google search, that means we're page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. If we got 1 slot page 1 on Google, we're looking the same as the other 9 competitors that are on there for a total of 10 slots. We're still invisible, we're still disappearing, we're slowly dying. So multi-scenarios, it's kind of the canary in the coal mine, kind of the warning light, the red flag that's telling us our boudoir photography business itself is now on its way to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka our S-cubed methodology. And we know this because we invented it. That's how we went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google in only 10 days. We'll see that data here, I don't know, like 4 or 5 more pictures. Now, S-cubed methodology, the way it works, it's exactly in the name. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up them there for those. And this is kind of like, when we do this, it's kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. Snow back there. What eventually happens is that snow melts, small streams, small rivers, and guess what? It all flows into the Amazon River. That Amazon River is Google page 1. But to get all that water there, we first got to be snow at the top of the mountains. So saturating social search, that's our snow. That's where everything begins. That's the input we care about, our S-cubed methodology. Everything flows from successfully executing S-cubed methodology correctly. And the interesting thing about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually enables them, that gives them a chance for their business to continue to grow, even in the face of market saturation, and even if they don't have a large, well-known brand, and to do all this give them this opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. The only other shot would obviously to have a large, well-known brand to compete against market saturation. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got that time. We got AI taking people's jobs. We don't have time. We don't have 5 to 10 years to build a large, well-known brand. What's actually interesting is utilizing S-cubed methodology. My estimates is it will actually speed up the process of creating a large, well-known brand in an area by approximately 8x, because it'll be seen with such a much higher frequency across so many more platforms. That's my estimates. It's kind of like a secondary benefit of utilizing this technology. So now an example. All right, so right now we're going to Phoenix, and there are currently 1 million boudoir photographers in Phoenix. We are one of them. Since we don't have a large, well-known brand, then the only way we can, everyone's got their websites and their boudoir photographer competing page 1 Google search. So since nobody's got any of those since there's so many competitors, we realize, all right, we got to use S-cubed methodology to get out of this mess. Let's say we crank it up to the max. Let's say we're ranked for the first 300 slots across all of social search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And let's say that flows out onto Google. And we're taking up the first 300 organic slots on Google. And we know it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. And so as a result, we're taking up literally the first 30 pages, and we are basically, for any boudoir buyer to find in any of our competitors, they got to scroll down to slot 301. And on Google, that's page 31. I mean, who's doing that? Basically no one. So when any boudoir buyer is actually searching for, any boudoir photo shoot in our city or any high intent boudoir buyer keyword in our city, we're basically the only ones showing up. And as a result, we, whose business is growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying, fading, disappearing? Most likely the other 999,999 boudoir photographers that buyers really can't even find them because we're saturating all the surfaces where they could be found. So this is kind of a ultra extreme example of what S-cubed methodology can enable for a boudoir photography business. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility, P1V. Yeah, we get our initial benefit, more slots page 1 on Google. But our second initial benefit of every new slot we get page 1 on Google, we actually get, we're actually kicking our competing boudoir photographers in our city off that page, and we effectively make them invisible because now they're on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 only searches. So we can basically choose to make our competitors disappear and put their business on the path of disappearing, depending on how much effort we want to put into acquiring all these slots. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where the GPC universe has a recommended minimum of having minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search. That's because all the other boudoir photographers will basically have 1. slots, so we're going to be dominating them for buyers scrolling page one. And on the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots, we're going to be dominating them as well because we have 3. We also know the Boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible Boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our full, basically our full kind of got our full micro universe here. We got a disappearing Boudoir photographer with Boudoir search sameness caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, the false belief page one equality. We can now solve it with S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible Boudoir photographer with Boudoir search visibility. Just our kind of our micro universe here. And now we're gonna look at my results. So the results that I got, purely using S-cubed methodology. So I want to dominate rank for this keyword, BLCS Boudoir. I want to dominate page one Google search. And let's see the results I got with it. So we're getting slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. So the best thing about this is from 0 to 10 slots page one Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S-cubed methodology. All right, now we're here at the main event here. I'm going to see this Boudoir photography business. Going to check its local search and its city search. See if see if we got BSS friendly searches. So we're heading to Oak Ridge and Jefferson. All right, we're in Oak Ridge. No data. We still got it loaded. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. All right, boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. We got 6. We got 7. We got 7. We got 7. All right, really, really good. So we got 7 out of 10. All right, so we got 7 out of 10 for local. Let's see for city. Let's see what we got. Let's see, we're looking for. All right, so we got 0 out of 10 for the city, Jefferson. All right, so local, we got 7 out of 10. We did not have BSS. We did reach the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search. We almost got the dominant page one designation, but that only happens at 8 out of 10 slots or higher. It's good for local and city. Always hard to rank for what 0 out of 10 for city. So yes, we do have BSS, and no, we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search. All right, so if you're a disappearing Boudoir photographer, because you've done your local search for the highest intent keywords that Boudoir buyers are searching for in your local area, and then in your city area, and either you had BSS for one of them or both of them, or you did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 for one of them or both of them, then, well, and you see, finally there's a solution here, S-cubed methodology. Like, yes, finally, this is what I've been waiting for. And you're able to see that because you've accepted that. The false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. We're not just subject to the whims of Google search. Google actually allows us to go and take as many page one slots as we want, as we'll put in the effort for. So you realize that's a false belief, to just kind of let it be, and we can go grab and take as much as we want. And you also send the 2 prongs of market saturation. More Boudoir photographers every week. Someone's getting a new phone, someone getting a new camera. You like the initial benefits, more slots on page one, and especially kicking your competitors off page one, making them disappear. And so you're liking dominating page one and preventing current Boudoir photographers from getting in, or ranking on page one, or essentially ever being seen by the approximately 80% bulk of the Google searchers, the market. And you're actually thinking ahead, and you're saying AI, okay, it's taking more and more people's jobs every single day. Last time that happened, COVID, more people were forced to become Boudoir photographers to earn money. So all right, I already know what over and above more people buying new iPhones, getting new cameras, more people getting new being forced to become Boudoir photographers, but they already have the device in their hands already. And so you want to fortify your position. You see SQ's methodology is the perfect way to do that. And you also like the extra backend benefits that you can see with, you know, using the solution, which is for every day we execute on SQ's methodology correctly, we actually increase the probability of getting recommended here, top primary, placement, the best slot, AI overview. And, when we get this premium placement, people are getting, kind of like it's kind of like a Google best recommended badge, hidden, but kind of implicitly in the buyer's, in the buyer subconscious. And also, every day we do SQ methodology correctly, you know, we're basically building up these invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like columns or spokes out from the hub of our brand, our business name. And that's what AI uses for the AI overview. And also, as we build up these invisible thematic keyword columns, we are increasing the probability that we, AI search recommends us for an AI search query. That's ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, and also Google Gemini. So these are kind of future benefits of executing SQ methodology correct today, day after day after day. Other future benefit obviously helps us build a brand faster since we're everywhere at once, way faster, about 4 times faster than normal. Actually, it could be 6, 7, 8 times faster than normal actually. So also building the brand faster, and you want to be, you've decided you're going to be a first person mover of your city using SQ methodology because, well, you heard that my current plan right now is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you want to hop on that. You decide you're going to hop on that to kick out all your competitors and actually get these initial benefits. More slots page one, kicking more people off page one, fortifying your page one for new boudoir photographers when AI is taking people's jobs, building up AI overview probability, AI search recommendation probability. Because, dude, I remember when I searched for boudoir photographers in the city, ChatGPT, last time I did it, dude, it recommended 3. And I went there, manually searched with Google, went through all the list, there's like 60. And so we really got to win Google AI search because it's increasing every single year. I haven't used standard Google search for things in like a year. Or AI search is increasing every single day. I mean, I've used the AI mode on Google a lot. Give me the summary. I don't want to read nothing. And so increase probability AI overview placement, increase probability AI search placement, approximately 8 times faster to create a brand because of all these other initial benefits. So imagine you got a winning brand and you're still using SQ methodology. And everyday user making bigger and bigger strides against your current competitors in the city because they ain't working with me. That's the plan right now. And you also see conversely, if your competitor works with me first, then and you get shut out, you lose all these initial benefits, you lose all the fortification benefits, you lose the future benefits, AI overview, higher probability recommended AI search, building a brand approximately 8 times faster. And you actually first need to rederive or derive for the first time SQ methodology for yourself, and then you need to go execute it. And you're never going to be 100% confident executing it because you're never going to know if you've derived it or rederived it correctly. But let's say you're equaling our output. Well, me and your competitor have already been working together a bunch, so we have a massive gap between us already. So even if you equal our output, you're guaranteed to just keep the gap the same size between your competitor and your city that's working with me and you. So you need to actually double or triple our output to kind of pull those invisible thematic keyword column momentum away from the the AI kind of brain overview from your competitor over towards yourself. And it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours? You need like 80 hours a day. You need like 80 hours a day to do that. So you decide, screw that. You decide you're gonna be the first mover of your city hopping on this, because you don't want to deal with not getting these benefits and your competitor getting them instead of you. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. When my basically when my DM's open. My DMs are currently closed. Hospital is currently closed for new patients. But when the hospital opens for new patients, shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify to use our S cubed methodology.